anytime you guys are ready to come into the physical studio, that's available. So here today with me, I've got Matt, I've got Sham. They're gonna join you on your mats from the studio. You guys are gonna be doing this at home. And yeah, it's go time. So everybody join me in child's pose. Come down onto your hands and knees. Let's start to get warmed up. So reach long to the front of your mat. And then right away, start to resource yourself. Okay, so notice what resources you have available to you right now. You've got your breath. Yeah, coming back into the studio is a little different. Practicing in the studio. We were just talking about this before we started the cameras rolling. It's probably going to be a slow build back to normal. Let's take our time. And just like we're going to take our time in this child's pose. There's no rush. Let's just be exactly where we find ourselves right here in this moment. From where you are right now, make any adjustments that feel good or necessary. For a side bend, walk your hands over to the right corner of your mat. And just remember that everything that I say in here is just a guideline or a suggestion. It's not gospel, it's not law, it's not an order. I want you guys to do what feels right to you in your own body. So if you went over to the right side and you want to go to the left side, take a big inhale, move back to center, and walk those fingers over to the left. Begin to notice how any of this movement is landing in your body this morning. Take another big inhale. Exhale, move back to center. Good, one more breath in right here in this child's pose, just to deepen. If you're ready, walk your fingers forward. Exhale back with the hips onto your heels, press them back. Take another deep inhale. Move into tabletop. And breathe as you move. Take any movement here that feels good. Ground down through your hands. Shall move your fingers a little bit further under your shoulders. No, other way, back. Yep, there you go, yeah. Start to take some cat-cows as soon as you're ready. Big inhale in, exhale, lift back up. Breathe. Let's do it again. Lower your belly, big inhale. Cow pose. Exhale, lift your spine, round yourself into cat. And one more cat-cow. Find a flat back. Draw your shoulders back onto your spine. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Start pedaling out your feet. And bend your knees a couple times, then straighten your legs. And then from here, take a big breath, lift your heels up off the ground. Exhale, lower them back down. Let's do that again. Take a big inhale, rise up. Exhale, slowly release back. Press your heels towards the back of your mat. Take a big breath in, drop your head, drop your neck, maybe shake your head. Yes. And then shake your head, no. And then lift your right leg up into the air. Let's open up the backs of our legs right now. Take a breath, pull your right heel out to the right side of the room. Flex your toes toward your face. And press your left heel down towards the mat. Good. On your next inhale, pull the right leg back in, bend your knee, open your hips. So we're going the other way. And press into your hands, take a breath. And float your right leg back down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Let's go to the other side. Lift the left leg up. Good. Pull your left heel out towards the left. Keep your right elbow straight. Notice the tendency to want to bend there. Good. Pull your left heel back in. Bend your knee. Open up your hip. Three-legged downward facing dog. Press your left heel over the right side. Take your left foot back down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to your hands. Take a couple steps if you need to. Maybe tiptoe up. Take your time. And then right at the top of your mat, let's go into goddess pose. And so your feet are already spaced apart. Just let your knees open wide, let your hips open wide. And then help that process along. Bring your hands to heart center. Press your elbows into the insides of your knees. Let that open wide. And then elongate your spine. Lift the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Press your tailbone down. Take a breath in. Exhale a breath out. Drop your fingers. Heel toe your feet in towards 12 o'clock. Let your head drop gently down towards your mat, and then take any movement you need here. This is the start of a brand new week. If anything is left over from last week, let it roll and rinse right off your body right now. Bend your knees if you need to. If the backs of your legs are really tight right now, give your knees a good solid bend. If you want to stretch them out more, go ahead and keep them more straight. I don't believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to yoga, so you guys know your bodies best. And don't be afraid to ignore something that I say and act out of your own best self-interest. Take another solid breath in. Biggest breath that you've taken so far today. Inhale. Open up your mouth, dump it out. Good. Step your feet together. Take a big breath in. Lift your fingers. High mountain pose. Inhale, stretch it up, look up. Right between the fingers there. And pull your shoulders back onto your spine. Take a breath. Go back, take a back bend. Come back up. Lengthen even further. One more inhale. Exhale, drop your hands to heart center. We're gonna take 3 ohms. 3 ohms today because I have other omers in the space with me, which makes it more interesting. Everybody take a deep breath in. Awesome. Thank you guys. And hopefully you guys there at home were able to hear the accompaniment. I know they're not mic'd, but it's good to hear some differentiation. Everybody take a big breath in, lift back up to mountain pose, fingers reach toward the sky, take a breath. Exhale, fingers go down to the mat. Inhale, press the ground away, stretch it up, back to Tadasana. Reach for the sky, take another breath in, exhale, go back for a back bend. And then go back down to the ground, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift up. And then reach forward, reach your hands out in front of you. Just like you're in your Tadasana right here, except we're still bent in half. So reach back with your tail, forward with your fingers and the crown of your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Good, reach forward. And drop your fingers onto the ground, step your feet back. Let's go to high plank. So stack your shoulders right on top of your wrists. Then spread out all 10 of your fingers. I'd notice if you've already started in this whole frenzy where I've got to get out of this pose, when's she gonna move us to low plank? Low plank is better than high plank. Anything is better than staying, except it's not. Because once you move on, you'll realize like that mindset is still there. It's just more in the background. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. Take a breath. And then with your shoulders, move back onto your spine. Now move slowly into low plank. Hug in, skin to muscle to bone. Big inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look between your hands, take a step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up to your mountain pose. Exhale, bow. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Same breath. Good. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look between your hands, move forward. And halfway lift, fold, mountain pose. Fold. Inhale, half rise. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Last time, look forward. Jump or step to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, fold, Tadasana. Reach all the way up. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog, downward facing dog. Let it all out. Let's just clear the energy from the room. We've got 2 here. You guys clear the energy there at your house. Take a breath and then open up your mouth. Let it dump out of your body. And I like the word dump because dump is what we use for the word trash. And usually your exhales are full of things that you didn't want in there anyway. So let's do it again. Take a big breath in. Exhale, dump it out. Bend your knees, jump to the front of your space. That halfway lift, fold, chair pose. Rise up and then sink the weight down, straight back into your heels. So if I look at this from a side view, I should see knees over ankles. Sham is looking down. She can see her toes with a clear vision. And then her hips are pressing back to the back of the room. So that means that she could sit on me, Sham, or stay there. I could come around and sit on her. Yep, that's the real test. If somebody is sitting in a way that you cannot, where their knees are forward, they won't be able to sit. They won't be supported by you. So make yourself a good supportive chair, one with good infrastructure. Take another breath right here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And take your right leg up into the air. And step your right foot forward. Let's go to warrior one. Nice and slow. Again, we're just, I don't know, today feels like, the energy feels like it just requires us to move slowly. I think that's because we're approaching some big adjustments. And we need to allow ourselves that time to adapt. There's always got to be a grace period. Sometimes we get thrown into things quickly and then we snap, we knee jerk, and we react. Almost like a reflex that we don't have control over. So notice if that's starting to happen to you anywhere in your life right now. Maybe things went back to normal too fast. Maybe there was any kind of change and it just felt too fast. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And for that reason, we're going to marinate on this left side as well. So step your left foot to your left hand. 5 big breaths in. Feel everything that you need to feel, but also turn off the reactionary feelings to those feelings and instead come into observation mode. You know, notice what you notice and then see what comes up. And straighten your back knee. Notice if that's bending in at all. Take one last inhale. And then exhale, chaturanga to the mat, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward. I was gonna say Joe there. Jump / go. Step or hop. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, right back into it. And sit down into your chair. And lift your chest up while you're here. And so, to some degree, that's going to depend on how open your back and shoulders are, but to the best of your ability, shine your heart forward, draw your collarbones open, and look to the front of the room, wherever that is for you. Take another breath in. Right there, Sean. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side, warrior one. And chaturanga. Upward dog, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Left side forward, warrior one. Rise up, big breath in. Exhale, hit the ground. Chaturanga, upward dog, downward facing dog. And again, look to the front of your mat. Go there. Halfway lift, forward fold, chair pose, rise up. You know, take your right leg over your left leg. Go into eagle. And sit down into the hips. This is your chair pose. Same chair pose as before. We're just a little bound up now. Draw into the center line. And go back to chair pose. Let's try this on the other side. Left leg winds over the right. Left arm goes under the right. Breathe. Nice, Matt. I like you're taking a little bonsai variation there. Take whatever feels right to you. Take a breath. Back to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side, warrior one. I'd get used to that open hip feeling. Expand from the inside out. Take another breath in. Press into the right hip. Press your back hip back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side forward, warrior one. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to go down. Upward dog. Downward dog. Take a couple of good breaths right here. The backs of your legs could use a good stretch. Maybe you take one up and then down during this little recess period. Maybe you stay right where you are and focus on your breath. Look between your hands, hop or step to the front of your space. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Take a breath, rise up to Tadasana. And step your right foot back, crescent lunge. And 2 breaths right here. And just allow yourself to get as long as you can. And for our purposes right now, that means the tailbone's pointing down. Chest is lifted, shoulders are back. There you go. Really nice, Sham. You're like embodying this right now. Let's see who else. Oh, everyone's back leg looks so straight. You guys look amazing over there. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg forward, please. High lunge. So activate that back thigh, let that open up. This is a really juicy stretch if you're stable. So take your feet a little further apart if you need to. Get 2 more breaths. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up into the air. Walk your hands back towards your feet. And so you've got options here. Sham might do a standing split because she's got really open hamstrings. So if she wants to lift this leg up a little bit higher, she can go there. She can deepen. Matt, you can do the same thing, or you could walk your hands further back out, wherever you're gonna feel more stable. Guys, if you're at home and you've got tight calves, you might want your hands further out. Take another breath in. Exhale, deepen the pose. And then walk your hands back to 3-legged downward facing dog. Bend your knee, open up your hip. So we're stacking this right hip on top of the left hip. Sham's pressing her heel over to the left side of the room, and then she's gonna flip her dog. If you guys wanna do that at home, flip your dog. And then reach your right hand forward and go for a wheel if it's there. If it's not, just stay right here and lengthen your back. Notice that reaching that right hand forward gives you that extra length. If not by actual physical happening, it's like a good visualization. That's why when I'm in halfway lifts sometimes, or when I'm in goddess pose, I always like to reach my arms out in front, because whether or not that does anything physically, I can never really tell, but it's just to visualize. Anything is an extension of your length. Take another breath. Press your feet down. And inhale, lift back up. Let's go back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot to your right hand. Crescent lunge, rise all the way up. 2 more breaths right here. Come into your fullest expression just of this lunge right here, right now. Bring your hands to heart center. Big open twist to the right. Keep your arms open. So we want to really be just completely upright here. And then you've got an option to stay, or you can reach your right hand down the back of your leg. What this is going to do is this is going to deepen the stretch in this left leg. If you need to drop your back knee for a second, go there. Take a breath. Warrior two. And reverse your warrior. Extended side angle. Lift your chest up. Take some breaths in here. Yeah, the more lift you get with your chest, the more you're going to be able to extend. And the more you can extend, the more you can twist. Just take one more inhale right here. Draw back with the left shoulder. Draw your chest up towards the sky. And then plant your right hand on your mat. We're going to step back to side plank. So the right foot's going to go back and slide underneath the left foot. If you need a little more support here, feel free to drop your right knee onto the ground. Breathe. I didn't take any variation that feels good. What are you guys capable of right now? Okay, he's got the tree pose going on. Monica's got a bind. Sham's in flip dog. Nicole's holding her baby. And Chelsea is doing like a hybrid variation. So whatever feels good right now, take one more breath right there. Hold on to it. Let it go, high plank. At low plank, inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'd look between your hands, hop or step there. Inhale, half lifts. Exhale, full. Take a breath in, rise up to Tadasana. And step your right leg back, crescent lunge. Right, 2 breaths. So Matt, bring your back heel right over your toes. I watched a video of myself doing yoga the other day and I noticed that's not what was happening. I'm like, I coach people on this. Like, I mean, lately it's only been 3 times a week, but it's enough for me to know better. And so just having that different level of awareness is like a game changer. Okay, go to low plank. Upward dog, downward facing dog, right leg forward, low lunge. Don't worry about where we are in the sequence, guys. We're kind of off the script right now, so just breathe. Two more breaths. Hold your ground, press into your feet. Just imagine your feet have all this little gripping power, like unlimited amounts of gripping power. Like you're a spider that could crawl up the ceiling with these feet. Take another breath in. Downward facing dog. Take your left leg up and bend your knee, open up your hip. Stay here or flip right over into flip dog. And then take whatever variation arises in this moment. Breathe. Take a final breath in right here. Move into plank. Step your left foot to your left hand, crescent lunge. Get right into it. Crescent lunge. And you guys are probably like crescent lunged out today. Yeah. You know what though? I have found the longer I'm practicing yoga, this is one of the most powerful poses. Yes, it's so hard, right? It's hard. It never gets any easier. A lot of yoga's like that. A sun B. It never really seems to get any easier. This time we're gonna open up though. So open up to the left there, Sham. Good. Good, perfect. Come back in your crescent lunge, Matt. If you need to take a knee, take a knee. I honor wherever you guys are in your process. Just stay with the process. Trust that it's gonna unfold exactly the way that it should. Stay here or go back. Warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. Extended side angle. If your legs are tired, just notice that. You guys are able to create strength with the mind. I really think that there's like so much untapped potential for the body that's stored in the mind. And the mind is in every cell. You're telling it what to do. You're in control. We may not be able to increase our flexibility like long term in the moment, but we're working towards that. We can definitely take charge of our staying power, like right now. Take one more breath. Plant your left hand down, step your top foot back or your left foot back, side plank. Breathe. Take one more breath. Vinyasa, hit the floor to high plank, low plank, up dog, downward facing dog. Yes, I don't know if you guys can hear the wonderful people in this room, but they're like sighing it out right now. I invite you to join them. Walk your feet up to your hands. Crow. So bring your knees onto the backs of your forearms. We're gonna press the chest forward as we lift the chest up. Okay, so take up space from top to bottom. Okay, the taller you can get, the easier it's gonna be to shoot back to chaturanga, and the longer you're gonna stay, because the higher up you go, the lighter you're being on your forearms. Take one more breath right here, guys. Good, shoot back to chaturanga. You know you can. Good, upward dog, downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. Crow pose. Take a big breath and get straight into it. And press down all 10 of the knuckles. You guys know these knuckles right here. The ones on the palms of your hands. Press those down into the mat. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. And step your right foot to your right hand, warrior 1. And then we're gonna move this back foot up over the right thigh. So the left foot's gonna come up over the right thigh. It's down into chair. Breathe. Well, I haven't done a practice today. Oh, all right, guys. Let's go into warrior 3. So we're gonna take this left leg back, reach forward with your hands. Ground down through your right foot. Breathe. If you need a little more support, tap your left toes on the ground. There you go. Look, Matt's perfect. Got our example right here. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Go to dancer pose. Reach around for that left foot with your left hand. Pull up. 3-point balance. Drop your fingertips to the ground. Keep that left leg lifted. There you go, Sean. Both hands, not half moon. 3-point balance. Nope. Left hand down. Yep, there you go. Yeah, you guys can, nope, both hands down. You got it. Yeah. So you guys, if you're here and you've got more energy and you want to play with handstand, go for it. If you are just, if you're getting a little worn down, honor your body. You know where you are in this process. Sham's laughing because she knows. She's like, oh, I'm beat. And Sham is somebody that I took handstand class with. She can do a handstand. She's just like, nope. That's honoring yourself. And then there's Kay, jump up in a handstand, and Nicole, jump it up in a handstand. That's awesome too, you guys. Do what you do. And then ragdoll. Yeah, and it's so funny, you guys. These people are just like you. They're not used to being in the heat anymore. So I touched Sean a couple minutes ago, and I'm like, whoa, she's sweaty. I'm like, oh yeah. Change. Things are always changing. Don't ever underestimate your ability to powerfully adapt. Let's do this again on the other side. Make whatever changes you need. Bring your hands down to the ground. Step your feet together. Downward facing dog. And step your left foot forward, warrior one. Now let's bring the back foot up and over the left thigh. Sit down into the hip. Chair pose or bonsai, whatever you want to call this one. Breathe. Warrior three. And bring some balance to that left leg by bending your left knee. And reach around for dancer. Reach your right hand back, catch your ankle, lift your knee. And notice if your knee is bowing out to the what side would that be? Bowing out to the right. You want it right behind your body. Take one more breath. Expand from the inside out. Draw your chest forward. And then drop your fingers onto the ground. Keep your right leg lifted in the air. 3-point balance. / standing split. Into handstand. Question mark. Yeah, you guys, again, your practice, your time. Yeah, what do you guys want to do? If you're in play mode, make sure you're still also in safe mode. I always gauge that by thinking about how mentally tired I am. If I'm too mentally tired, I know I cannot physically attempt something. It's always a good indicator for me, and that means I'm on shaky ground. A child's pose might be just what you need right now. Oh, see? They were like, oh, you don't need to tell me twice. And I don't need to tell you twice either, guys. I don't even need to tell you once. You know that's where you need to be. Get right into it. We've come almost to the end of our practice. There's just a couple more things we're going to do. You guys have been firing up your core this whole time. Hopefully sweating, opening up your legs, opening up everything. Go to downward facing dog. Come into high plank. Lower all the way to the ground. Oops. Yep, all the way to the ground. But keep your hands underneath your shoulders, okay? Yeah, so from high plank down to the ground, keep your hands in your shoulders, lower the tops of your feet down. And then we're gonna come up, lift up. So we don't need to lengthen our arms back or front, just keep them right underneath your shoulders, lift up into locust. Good, lower back down, press up. And guys, the way that I'm doing this right now, just to save time, I don't know if you can see me back here, but I've just got the tops of my feet still here, okay? So I'm going down, lift up, down, press, down, up, down, press. Let's do 5 of those, okay? Everybody on your own time. You guys don't have to count with each other. You don't have to be matching with each other. Just take your time. Good, so lower to your belly. Good, lift your arms up, Sham. Lift your feet up, Sham. Good, lower down. Press back up. Good, lower back down. Take a breath in, lift everything up. Good, lower back down. Press back up to plank. Keep going. Good. Don't let your low back collapse. If that's happening, drop your knees onto the mat. And when you've done your 5, flip over onto your back. We're gonna keep going with bridge. Hey, good form, Matt. How are you guys doing over here? Awesome. Looks like most of you guys are ready for bridge. If you're not, complete your last one. And then roll over and join us on your back. All right. Everybody set up. Let's get up. Bridge or wheel. If you're ready for wheel, don't leave yourself hanging. Just get straight into it. Press right up. Take a breath in and lift your hips. And release. Take your knees side to side. Come back up, bridge or wheel. Got 4 of these total, guys. Make them good ones. Oh, Matt's already got a leg up. Who's gonna join him over here? Yes, we have Nicole. And release. Right, come all the way down, take your knees side to side. This time you're gonna have another opportunity. It's to lift up that other leg, that opposite leg. So everyone move right back into your 3rd wheel of the day or your 3rd back bend of the day. Press down to lift up. All right, Cham's got her other leg off the ground. Who's gonna join her? Monica, yes. Nicole, breathe. Kay. And let go. Take your knees side to side. And then last one, everybody lift. All right, so from right here, I want you guys to bend your elbows. I know Matt and Monica love the push-ups, and I have both of them with us today. So if you're in wheel, bend your elbows. Lower yourself down as much as you can. Tap your head, press back up. Good, let's do 5. Lower down, press up. Lower down, press up. 2 more, lower down, press up. Lower, press, release. Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha Konasana. So bring one hand over your heart, bring another hand over your belly. So as much as we've been talking about change and adaptation this morning, I'm gonna tell you guys something. And I honestly, I was thinking about this last night about how excited I was to come into the studio because I was thinking to myself, oh, maybe it'll be like a full class here. And then I got here and I was like, I had to sit in my car for a sec before I even went inside. I was like, oh, it's like, I'm kind of nervous. I kind of hope there's not a lot of people in there. And then I walk in and it's just Sham and I'm kind of like, oh. You guys, and I've never ever been a person with social anxiety, but I can tell you right now, like I am feeling that. When you're somebody who hasn't, and I know all of you guys can identify with this, when you're someone who hasn't been in a crowd in several months, it's very odd to walk into a room where you're in a mix of these eclectic, swirling, and many varied energies. When you put them all in a pool, it's almost like, wait a minute, which one am I? You can't tell anymore, and it becomes a situation that if you're not used to, it can be a little I can't even think of the phrase I'm looking for. Overwhelming, yeah. But you know what we also have to arm ourselves with right now is we have this new awareness. We haven't been around tons of other people, so we have a better sense of who we are. And when we have that, then we can better respect who others are. So we've unwittingly gifted ourselves all of these tools over the last few months. And I think now we're going to be able to use them, which is really exciting. And whenever I do see you guys back here in the studio, I'm going to see you guys in a new and more positive light. Not that I didn't always, but I'm going to have more respect for each individual. In other words, namaste. Moving to frog. Sham said, huh. If any of you guys at home are feeling like that too, I understand. Make yourself uncomfortable, at least being uncomfortable. Roll up your mat, grab your pillows, a blanket, whatever it is that you need. And then lower down. Let yourself soften as you breathe here. Take another 5 to 7 breaths right here. And slide forward onto your belly. When you're ready, roll back onto your back. Set yourself up for a waterfall or a headstand or handstand, maybe a shoulder stand, whatever inversion's in your practice right now. Got lots of headstanders in here today. Let your body just allow anything to drain. Just imagine all of your circulatory organs redistributing, recharging, just returning things back to normal. And then slowly make your way out of this pose. And come back onto your backs. And then pull your knees onto your chest. Extend your right leg out in front of you so that your left knee is hugged in. Good, and then Matt's over here like we're gonna do bicycle twists. No, we're definitely not. Supine twist. Yeah, so pull your left knee over the right side of your body. Try to ground your shoulders here, expand your chest. And then come back to center. Let's go to the other side. Pull your right knee in. Extend your left leg out. Then move your right knee over the left side of your body. Look over your right shoulder. Just expand from the inside out. Press into the ground. And then notice your grounding. Bring all of your attention to your grounding. And there's all that security there. Take another breath. Come back to center. Pull it all in. Hug everything into your midline: skin, muscles, bones, knees, elbows. Take a breath. Hold it right here at the top. Let's let it sink in. It's a new day. It's a new breath. Hold it here. Open up, dump it out. Savasana. You rest. Allow your body to come into a state of total rest. And you're getting heavier and heavier. You can come undone right here. Gently call yourself back to this moment. And then start to wiggle your fingers. Move your toes. And then bring your knees onto your chest, one at a time. Just welcome all of yourself back into that little embrace. Hug your knees in, drop your forehead. Send yourself a little self-appreciation. And then roll onto your right side. You can experience a bit more grounding before we close class. With your eyes closed, make your way up to your seat. We're going to close class with 3 ohms. So feel free to join us. We're going to do rolling ohms, just like we did the other day, right, Sean? So we're going to all start together, but we're all going to end in different places. So let's go ahead and begin this. Everyone take a deep breath in. Draw your thumb knuckles together, forehead center. Together we bow to each other and ourselves. Namaste. Namaste to all of you at home, to those of you at the studio. Thank you so much for joining us on our first official day back. Feel free to keep taking the virtual classes for as long as you want. We have no end in sight for this service. And if you're feeling ready to come back and, if you guys are feeling ready to come back and join us in the studio, please feel free to do so anytime. The last thing is, if you happen to see Leah Green today or you have a Facebook account, jump on there and wish her happy birthday. She's leading a class tonight at 5:45. If you guys have any more energy left for another yoga class later, if not, I'm sure she would just love and welcome the well wishes. And this is like the best birthday present ever for her that we got to reopen today. So yeah, and we're all really excited about it. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, feel free to join us as soon as you're ready. And we hope to see you guys, whether virtually or in the studio, really, really soon. So thank you so much for coming. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Amber.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for coming.
Wonderful.